Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another video. And if you don't know, my name is James and I run a Caterham called Fern. And this video is about half doors. I'm going to tell you why I chose a brand that I did. I'm going to show you how I fitted them, and I'm also going to give you my thoughts on if I think that you should buy them as well. I'm also going to give you a very sneak preview into a video that's coming very soon at the end, so make sure that you're stuck around for that part. Why am I fitting half doors? Well, if you've been following my journey so far, you can probably tell that I'm trying to get a bit quicker on track. And I'm buying a few things now that will hopefully help with that, and one of them is half doors. If you've ever driven a Caterham with an aeroscreen on and no doors, or even a windscreen without any doors, it's very hard to explain, but the air kind of circles in around you and then kind of like lifts up and you get helmet lift, and it's really not very nice. And there's been lots of people tell me to buy some half doors because then I won't experience this and then I'll enjoy my aeroscreen more. So here's where we are. Why did I choose the Westermann half doors? Well, there's a few reasons for this. I personally really like the look of them, especially how they tuck inside the scuttle. I've also seen a few Caterhams on track days that have these fitted, and I've also sat in a car before with the half doors fitted, and I could tell just by sitting inside that it would reduce the helmet lift. I personally don't actually like the Caterham vinyl ones, and I also don't like how they're fitted just on the outside of the car. And I've also heard stories of them kind of potentially popping off on track because the air can get behind them, whereas the Westermann ones, because they tuck inside the scuttle, that reduces that chance by a lot. There's also a big price difference. The Caterham ones are really quite expensive, I think, for what they are, and the Westermann ones I think are good value for money, but I did have to pay some import duty on them. So bear that in mind if you're going to buy them. There's also a big weight difference, and I'm basing this on my friend's S3 who has the vinyl doors with the armrests, and the weight of one of those is 944 grams, whereas the Westermann ones, they come in at 387 grams each, which is nearly 60% lighter if my maths is correct. How to fit. Here are some clips of me fitting the half doors. So it's a bit hard to film today, but hopefully you can see that the half doors go underneath the scuttle here. And the idea is, or what I'm going to try and use, is put some industrial Velcro here to hold that in place. There's already a popper around about there, so I'll use that popper. I'm hoping that I don't need to use one here, but I could do. And I'll need to put some, well, add a popper here. So I will come back to you in a minute where I got my kind of plan of action. But as you can see, there's might be a little bit of fettling to do. I might need to sand a little bit off here. We shall see. But if I lift this up for you, just so you can see, so if I just show you there how it kind of like tucks in. And that's the popper that I've already got there. So I'm definitely going to use that one. And then I'll see where to put the popper down there. So I'll come back to you in a second. So the more that I kind of work on my Caterham, I realise that all of them are slightly different. So what I've done is I've taken a bit off the door here and also a little bit off here. But on the kind of driver's side, there was hardly anything to move. I just think all Caterhams are slightly different. I don't think it's anything to do with the moulds or anything like that. I just think all of them are just slightly different. So you might need to do that a little bit, or you might not. Might be perfect straight away. But like I say, I just had to take a little bit off here and a tiny little bit off there. And I think that's going to look quite good. And the other side will be exactly the same. So I'm just going to show you one side just so it's not a massively long video. But yeah, I really love the way that they tuck into the scuttle here. So I'm hoping that a bit of Velcro will hold that in place. And like I say, one popper there that's already there. And then I'm going to have to rivet in a popper there. And hopefully that'll all keep it in place. So next job, to find the popper on this side. So what I'm doing is just putting a load of this Scotch tape on here. And then the idea is when I press onto here, there'll be an outline on here, and then I'll drill through and put a popper through. That's the plan. But saying that, a lot of my plans don't work, so let's see if this one does. Maybe one layer would be okay, but I'm thinking just put a few and then we should see. Aha, it's worked. If you can see that. So yeah, so I'll put a mark in the middle and then we'll give that a drill and then put a popper in. As easy as that. I'll show you how I put the poppers on later and what tool I use. I then find what I think is the best place for the bottom popper. I drill a hole for the popper in the door and then mark it on the car. Hopefully you can see that's my hole from going through the door in the correct place. And here's the popper part that I need to put on. And if I put that in the middle there, that works really well in that position. So it's very hard to show you on camera because I need my fingers in the way as well. But it definitely works. So we'll drill a hole there, rivet this in, and then I'll come back to you. Every Caterham owner should buy a rivet gun as there's lots of rivets and they're very handy to have. I'll leave a link in the description below of everything that I've used. What I'm going to do is put some Velcro, kind of see, underneath here. So because I'm not going to be having half doors on all the time, this is mainly for track driving, the idea is to put the kind of softer Velcro here. Mainly because if someone's in the car and they brush it, then hopefully it won't, not that it will hurt, but be a bit softer for them anyway. So the idea is to put it here, draw a line on the back, and then cut it, stick it in place, and then put a slither of Velcro just down here. And I obviously need to put a popper there as well. So let's do that, and then hopefully we will be all good. I use the side of the scuttle as my guide to mark on the back of the Velcro. This is industrial strength Velcro and I'll leave a link in the description below. So base on the other side, I'm going to cut, don't know what that measurement is, 1/2 centimetre maybe, inside of this, just to make sure that it doesn't kind of come around this lip bit. It just seemed to work that way. So there we go, that'll be all tucked away when that goes in. I then cleaned the inside of the scuttle and stuck the Velcro in place. It was a little bit hard to show before, but here's the Velcro inside the scuttle. And yeah, it works really, really well, I think, to hold the half doors in. So this is the snap fastener tool that I've got. As you can see, you put the base in there. There's the kind of top of the popper. The door will go in between, and then this side of the popper goes on there. And then if you can see inside there, hopefully, that will press down on top of there and then squish it in place. So this is very hard to show you while doing it. And then you can see there that it's squished in place. So yeah, so this tool is really handy when you're on your own. There's other tools that you can use. So you can use this, which is used with a hammer. So this plastic piece here holds the kind of top bit in place, and you put whatever it is in between, could be your boot cover or anything like that, on the top piece, and then it's like a kind of punch. So you put that on the top there and then hit it with a hammer. But the problem with this is it's really hard to kind of do on your own, because there's lots of things to kind of hold in place plus hammer it at the same time, and you need to make sure that something on the bottom isn't going to move, so like when you hammer it, because obviously you need the force. So yeah, quite hard to do that way. So here's the door with the foam on, so as you can see along the bottom edge I've put it, and then around there, and I think it'll stop it rubbing as well. And the foam that I've used is just exactly the same as what we put on the nose cone, and I'll put a link in the description below. Yeah, and this is just what it looks like. And this one actually is a lot easier to get the backing off, and I don't know if you're a Caterham owner, sometimes it's a real pain in the bum to get the backing off this, but this actual one is not too bad. How to take them off and put them back on again. So here's the half door on, obviously, and it's really simple to take off. There's obviously a bit of Velcro here, and there's one popper here and one popper there. So all you do is just remove one popper, take off the other one, and there you go. It's easy as that. And to put the door back on, again, really simple. You kind of tuck it inside the scuttle a little bit first, line up the popper, put the bottom one on, and put the top one on, and then I'll just make sure that it's pressed inside the scuttle here. But yeah, as easy as that. How to get in and out. I do apologise that the light is fading fast at the moment, but I know what you're thinking. Is it harder to get in with the half doors on? And yes, you could take them off before getting in, but realistically, when I'm on track, they're going to stay on the car. And now what I do have to do is I have to kind of step inside, but to do that, I need a bit more space now, so I need to take the steering wheel off. So steering wheel is now off, and then I'm just going to use my hand on here on the roll bar to step inside, second leg in, and then I've got the roll bar again, and then hand on the middle bit to get in. So very similar with the doors, and then just slide back down. So yeah, that's not too bad. It's definitely a little bit harder getting out, and I think it's because of the half doors being here. It means that you can't get your elbows out, and I guess when the doors are open, that's kind of what I do, and it feels a bit more constricted. So what I'd have to do is, yeah, just lift out like normal. It's not going to be dignified, so I'm going to hate watching this back. There you go. Stand on the seat again, and then out. As easy as that. First impressions. So I've stopped on my test drive to give some kind of first reactions of the half doors, and wow, what a difference that they make. When you've got the aero screen on, the helmet lift isn't as bad at all. It's so much better. I can't wait to get out on track and see the differences there. I'm on track at Bedford in a couple of days time, so I'll let you know how I get on in that video, so watch out for that one. But yeah, just on my very short trip, so much better. But yeah, I really like it. I like the way that they come up, you know, quite high. It makes you feel like kind of cocooned, which is really quite nice. And yeah, the air kind of gets you around about here on the neck, I suppose. But yeah, you don't get the helmet lift that you would do without having half doors. So yeah, really good. But yeah, I suppose one plus, or one potential plus for the vinyl ones, is that yes, you could have an armrest and these ones don't. But yeah, I'm really impressed with them. So yeah, can't wait to get them out on track, and I'll let you know in that video how I got on track. Should you buy them? Well, the short answer, yes, I think you should. I'm really impressed by these Westermann half doors. I should say that I've bought these with my own money. No one's paying me to say nice things about them, and there are other brands available. But I've done a track day now, and I've also done a couple of weeks of driving on the road with the aero screen and the half doors, and I don't get any helmet lift now. They work brilliantly. And the pros for using these Westermann ones are, they're really good value for money, I think, and they're lighter than other brands available. And I really like the design of them, of how they tuck inside the scuttle. They work really well. And talking about how they look, I've got a question for you. And if you know me, you know that they're not going to stay black for very long. And let me know in the comment section below, do you think that they should be white, or do you think that they should be green and body coloured? Let me know in the comment section below. I know personally that I won't be using my aero screen without the half doors now. I'm really impressed by these Westermann ones. As I said at the beginning of the video, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of a video that's coming very soon. I didn't actually plan to make this video, it kind of happened by accident, and maybe some of the best ideas come by accident. And here's a little sneaky clip. And welcome to living with an aero screen for a week, or at least a week anyway. And to be honest, I didn't plan to make this video. What has happened is, well, hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It makes a big difference to a small channel like mine. And don't forget, every stone chip tells a story, and I'll see you in the next one.
As you fade away.